Welcome to the Freelance Drive. Here we talk with skilled freelancers about their professional journey. Stay tuned for real-life experiences to learn and actionable steps to take to improve your freelancing career. My name is Yuri. I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and my guest is Nathy Ravez, a freelance workshop designer and facilitator, and a French native living in Germany and working globally, both in person and online. So, welcome, Nathy.
Hi, how are you? So happy to be here.
Yes, finally. First of all, kudos to Said. Thank you very much, Said, for telling me to invite Nathy. Hey, if you are seeing this, like it's all because of you. And for sure, because of amazing Nathy. And I would love to learn from you today. So let's talk about the power of facilitation, who needs it and why, and how facilitation skill can help freelancers in their journey. So let's start with the easiest question for you, I guess. What is a facilitation?
Facilitation is a skill. Facilitation comes from facilitate in French. It means make things easy. So facilitation is actually the skill that enables someone to guide a group of people to go from a starting point to a B ending point and to get stuff done. It's a skill to leverage the collaboration between individuals. So a facilitator is the one who guides a group through several kind of activities to have an output at the end.
And I would say that facilitator is also someone who makes things easier.
Yeah, it makes me as a facilitator, I try to make the collaboration, the communication, and the way of working between individuals easier. Because you know that in our time, in corporates, in companies, in NGOs, where there are people working together, it is not so easy. You have different kind of personalities, you have different kind of roles, you have different kind of perspective and objectives. And when these people need to work together on a common outcome, sometimes there are some frictions. So a facilitator is here to unlock the collective intelligence and unlock the collective collaboration, the collective work together to better make decisions and better create greater idea and find solutions together.
How do your potential clients know that they need a facilitator? For example, whether they sit in the meeting and then, okay, we need a facilitator. How does it happen?
This is the point. You will never have, or you will rarely have a leader waking up in the morning after a horrible night because he has some things to solve at work and waking up and saying, oh, I need a facilitator. No. A leader will never come to this idea. Maybe will come to the idea to have a consultant. By the way, I would like to explain the difference between a consultant and a facilitator, because I was a consultant in the past. So a consultant is someone who is coming to a company and analyze what is the status quo and what has been done so far and what solution he or his team could bring to the company. The difference with a facilitator is that the facilitator is someone who unlock the expertise of the people in the company so that they find the solution. So the difference for me, who has been working in both roles, is that when a solution is coming from outside, you need sometimes, it's more difficult to make this solution accepted. When you bring a group of people using their expertise and their collective intelligence to find a solution, most of the time is more accepted and more implemented with a good feeling in the team. So, but this job is not as well known as a consultant. So as I said, a leader will not wake up and say, I want a facilitator. Maybe big companies like Google or other companies who are used to work with facilitator, but taking the normal companies, they don't know what is a facilitator. A leader will wake up to say, I have this problem and I need a specialist. And when I talk to a CEO, a CTO, a project manager, I will not say, hey, I'm a workshop facilitator and I will do a workshop to solve your problem. I will say, okay, you have a ton of problems. Let's find out together what are the reason of these problems and how we can solve it. And then I tell them how is my method. So to gather the people and prepare the day so that we can have great insights at the beginning. And then after this first workshop, found out how we could work on other gathering of people together.
It sounds a little bit like a therapy.
And no, we are not a therapist. We are not therapists, but we need, of course, to understand how group dynamics works. We need to be good listeners, and to be good listeners, we need to ask great questions and different kind of questions. And these questions are there to help people deepen their thought, you know? So for example, I don't know, if someone is talking and about, but we have this problem. We cannot reach this goal because we did that in the past and it's not working. So you are here to guide them with questions like, what did you mean when you say this, this, and this? Or can you tell me more about your RDD? We are here to guide the people to really go not under the surface, you know, to find out. And So yes, we are not therapists, but we are guide. We are not therapists. We are not entertainer. We are guide.
How do you decide?
We are the one who show the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. How do you choose what questions to ask?
I think when you are skilled facilitator, you get the habit to know which questions you should choose. The key is to be an active listener, means to really listen and rebound on what the people are telling you. Means sometimes it's a simple thing like mirroring or rephrasing what the person is saying, so that she can hear what I understand and she can then say, yes, but I meant by that, you know. So it's about listening. It's about understanding how groups can work together, how different kind of personalities can work together. It's about also understanding that when you have people in a room that are coming from different departments, they have different goals and different perspectives. So it's not so easy to keep the common goal when you are working in your department. For example, you are an engineer, you are working on drawing a machine, and the technician is here to put the piece together. But if the engineer don't draw the right pieces, the technician will have problems to assemble the machine, for example. So you need to be aware of the difference and to make the group aware of their difference, and to build an environment where they try to break the silos they are working in and start to understand, oh, we are stronger together. So maybe I should try to understand the perspectives of the other, and maybe we could find a way to work better together on this project and find, like, I would not say rules, but like a contract how to work together on this project, for example, you know?
Do you work with any project? I mean, does facilitator have to understand the topic to help find solution, or do you have some incoming information that you ask questions that it's enough that you can like work with anything?
So I would say yes and no. Means I think it's an advantage to know a little bit of the environment and a little bit of how people are working. For example, if you are working with corporates as a facilitator, it is an advantage if you've been in corporates before. If you are working with startups, it is an advantage that you have been in this area before. But when you are high skilled, you have different methods. It's not about, normally you don't need to know about the topic, but you need to understand really what your contractor want to have at the end of the workshop, who is in the room, what is the context, even if you have no clue about the project itself. An example, I did a workshop in Paris in February this year. It was the kickstarting of a big digital transformation project for this company, which will be for the next 5 years. I have no clue what the project was about, but my role was to make a special day with 70 CEOs meeting for some of them for the first time in a castle, and they wanted to have a very strong kickstarting of this project. So we build the whole day so that they can learn each other, so that they can make common activities together, and so that they can make like videos that will be spread in the companies to talk about this project. So I have no idea about this project, but I knew how to bring them to talk about this project and align together on what it is about and why they are doing this.
When you are facilitating such kind of cooperation or facilitating a workshop, what kind of information do you need to have to do it?
I need to have a context. What problem do they want to solve? Mm-hmm. What have they done so far? And with which person I will work, means who are the people in the room, so that I can also say, yeah, but maybe we need a decider, for example, or maybe we need someone who is responsible for the process if they want to leverage a process or something. So I need to know the context, the goal, what they want to have at the end, the people in the room, and the time. So how much time do I have? And yeah, if there are some red flags, like people who don't understand each other, maybe, so that I can know from the start I need to do something from the start with these people. Yeah, this is what I need to know.
So it's interesting. You told me that facilitation, it's a skill itself. And I'm curious, what other skills a facilitator must have?
What other skills? So I told you already, he needs to be a good listener. He needs to ask good questions. He needs to understand groups dynamics. He needs to be able to read a room. Means he needs to understand, okay, is the energy right now high, or is this a little bit low? Should we take a break? Should we take a break? You need also to understand, okay, I planned this and this and this in my head, but I see, for example, that now there is a discussion going on, a conversation, which seems to be very important. What could I skip so that we stay in time? So you need to be flexible. You need to understand that a good facilitation needs a good preparation. So this is really something which is key. And you need also to learn how to stay natural. He's not the entertainer of the day. So there are some moments you can entertain a little bit. I use a lot of humor in my sessions to unlock a little bit the stress or whatever. But I'm not the expert, so I need to let them find the solution and not influenced by any way. And a part of that, these are the things that you need to learn or to own. But there are a lot of methods. You told me before, do I need to know the topic? Generally not, but you can be a facilitator who is an expert in AI, for example. I have this a certification in AI design sprint, so corporates know me also, that when they want to start with this topic, they can call me. We will make workshops about this. Yeah. There are a lot of books and methods about facilitation. Facilitation is in facilitation, you have design thinking, design sprints. You have a lot of methods that you can learn.
What is your favorite book about facilitation?
My favorite book about facilitation is Peak Moment. I don't know the author right now. I have two. Yeah, I have two books that I love. And now I have a blackout. I will look for the book. I will tell you the books. But Peak Moment and The Art of Gathering. These are the two books, and I don't know the author right now.
You told so many times about the importance of listening and asking questions, but not just questions, but good questions. And I totally understand that the more questions you ask, the better you understand with practice what exactly to ask. But for someone who starts asking questions, like how do they learn how to ask good questions?
Oh, can I stand up for a moment?
Exactly, wait. Sure.
I have a great book here called The Art of Asking Powerful Questions. Wow. From Ro Fernandez. And there is a different kind of books how to ask questions. I would say there are 4 kind of questions. Clarifying questions. One I told you before, what did you mean when you said? Probing questions. Can you tell me more about this idea? Directive questions. What's the best way to move forward in your opinion? Or redirective questions. That's a great question. How would you answer? These are only little examples, but this is the way of helping the people to deepen what they want to say, actually.
I feel like it's one more book to add to my huge to-read list. But also I'm curious, did you read a book called Spin Sales?
No, I didn't.
Because why am I asking? Because when you told me about different types of questions, I read some time ago this book about by Neil Rackham, Spin Sales, and there are 4 types of questions to ask to understand the problem of a client and to move them into this buying mode, to really show them that there is a problem and that the product you are selling is a solution for them, but not in a way that you are selling, but they kind of understand it themselves. And it sounds very similar with what you are doing in facilitation.
Absolutely. And this is exactly what I tell my students when they are coming to my program. If you want to approach and find clients, and if you want to sell your services to a client, the first thing is asking questions. And asking questions that for you to identify what solutions you could offer first. For the client to being aware about you because you are very interested in what are the problems. And then building through this way strong relation, because I think that nobody is buying services if they don't know you and if you don't show interest. So I will put your book then on my list.
It's interesting. I had this question, how do facilitation skills help freelancers? But I feel like you already answered
Oh, sorry.
with everything. It was everything we were talking about. You already answered this question. So what does it take to become a freelance facilitator?
This is a good question. First, you need to own the skill. So you cannot, I think, for example, if you are in a corporate and you are interested into facilitation, then use your corporate job as a playground. Start to transform your meetings in meetings which are facilitated, because most of the meetings are not. Start to gather people in your free time using facilitation skills, and try to get experience with this. And then if you are a skilled facilitator or you have a good level of facilitation and you want to make it a freelance career, then start to work before you quit your job. Find out, and this is really the key, find out your compass, means what problems do you want to solve? I think it's not a good idea to go out and say, I'm a facilitator and I sell workshops, because as I told you at the beginning of this podcast, no leaders will hire a facilitator like this. So find out which problems you want to solve. Reach out to potential clients or potential people that you would like to work with and ask them questions to then find out, who do you want to serve? So one is, what do you want to solve? Second is, who do you want to serve? The third is, how do you want to help them? So because you can be a facilitator, you can, for example, design a specific workshop you are known for. I don't know, like AI experience session or whatever the topic you choose. And write down everything. The fourth thing is, explain who you are and your story, so that people know you have the experience, you know exactly, you are exactly the right person to solve my problems, and I trust you because you whatever. So these are the four things you need to define. And maybe put savings on the side at the beginning to be sure you can survive for a while, because it takes time. So my big advice is always to start the work before you go freelance.
If someone wants to become a good facilitator, what is one step to take right now?
You can make facilitation a basic facilitation course first, or read a book or listen to podcast, like there's a workshop for that, for example. And try some simple methods, try some exercises. And facilitation is, you can learn, of course, the theory, the tools, and the techniques. But if you want to be a good facilitator, you need to facilitate. So it's practice, practice, practice. So if you can do this in your corporate, it's great. There are other ways. There are facilitators community. I'm in the core community of Butter, for example, with Said, who you had on your podcast. So these are a lot of facilitators, and there are some free sessions, and you can also create your own workshop and present it in a safe place there. So find a way to practice. This is my advice. And if something is going wrong, on your session, on your first session, this is great, because facilitation is about adapting. So if you fail sometimes, it's very good, because the next time you will not make the mistakes.
Yeah, it will be very shameful because, it's always hard to make mistakes, but I feel like it's the
Yeah.
best way to learn. So yeah,
Yeah.
I totally understand you. And Nati, I wish to have the sky is the limit, but time is the limit to our conversation. So the final question, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food. Oh my God. Hmm. I'm living in Bali right now, and I love the mie goreng and nasi goreng, so the typical food in Bali. But I'm French, so I really love also the bœuf bourguignon from my mother. Yeah.
Got it. And what is the best way to connect with you?
You can connect with me. The best way is LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn, and you can listen to the podcast. There is a workshop for that, and yeah.
Got it. Nati, thank you so much for sharing your experience, and it's been such a pleasure to hear and learn from you.
You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Thank you
And
so
thank
much, Yuri.
And thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button, 5 stars, and share it with your friend. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.